I'm going to count to 15. Luke join in at 5. Maria join in at 10.
Yes,
Luke
sir.
always, but
Yes,
everyone
sir.
go to 15. Okay?
Yeah.
We're just going to do it that way. I'm going to cry.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
The
headset came off. I heard Luke and Logan all.
It was 11. 11 got me.
Why did 11 get you?
I don't know.
Well, because
I started thinking about Maria sat there for 10 seconds
I
in
was just
silence.
my hands are folded. I'm just waiting for my cue.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Playing Favourites, the podcast in which I and my good friend Harry discuss our favourites on a variety of different topics. Today, we're going to be talking about baked goods, but not alone. We're joined by a special guest who is a baker in real life, because we're prepared. Hello, Maria.
Do I ever get to... Hey, Maria.
No,
Do I ever get,
You're not in this episode.
No.
I've been replaced.
I'm talking to Maria about bread, okay? And you're just here.
I'm just like nodding along, just making sure it all runs well. I'm the tech
This
guy.
guy's headset on, directing the lights.
All sounds good to me. Fantastic. Well, yeah, it's exciting. This is our first guest episode in like 20
years.
It's been almost a year.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Jesus.
It's been a little while. But it's lovely to have you, Maria. What do you do? How are you involved with baked goods?
So
What's your
I
thing?
essentially run a bakery right now. I've got an associate's degree in baking and pastry.
Wow. Okay. What does that mean? So like you've studied at like what a school or a university?
Yeah,
or?
I went to the Cullinary Institute of America, which is the world's premier culinary college. If you listen to them. And now I'm $40K in debt.
What do you mean by if you listen to them?
That's the whole marketing for the school is you graduate with the name on your jacket, and it's very like connectionful.
There is another important second point we should make here, which is that Maria is the first time we've had someone on the podcast who is not British.
I'm breaking all the ground.
I suppose that is the point. We're really...
It's just, it feels like it could be relevant.
What, you think it's going to bring in like a new audience?
There is going to be a couple translation blips, I'm sure. I've got a list of baking ratios, but some of them are like American pancakes and American biscuits and stuff, and it's like...
Wait, hang on, baking ratios?
Yeah, like you know how if you're watching The Great British Bake Off, they don't have a ton of recipes memorized?
Okay.
A lot of baked goods are based off of ratios of ingredients. And if you can learn those ratios, you can modify it any flavor.
You can make anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's like the periodic table, but for baking.
Less complicated.
Yeah,
it's just
baking is
numbers.
alchemy.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the baking is a science. Like,
that's
oh no,
that's one of those things that I think people who don't know anything about baking say to make it sound like they know.
No, see, bakers also say that. You've just got the most laid-back baker in existence, I'm pretty sure.
Fair.
Okay.
So that's good. That you're down to earth. You can tell us about baking without,
Yeah, I'm being like snobby about it. Like, I just feel like this is one of those. Luke, what's your baking knowledge like?
I've baked.
Does it exist? You've baked. Okay. I think I baked like once. I used to make fruitcakes for my nan when I was little. However, I feel so unqualified, right? And yet Maria is so qualified that I feel like I don't even want to say anything about baking.
The thing is, right, even compared to the other guest episodes we've had, Maria is more qualified in the field than they were.
I do have a degree in this specific
It was lovely having them.
Not to insult them. They're both very lovely people. But
yeah, thank you, Tim.
Maria is studied in the art of
I graduated with honors, goddammit.
Like, oh my god, okay, sorry, apologies to Tim and Fran for very bashing them.
I'm not insulting them.
Very nice
very good episode, very respectful, enjoyed the chat with them about swords and about classical music. But, Maria, I think relatively, in this case, straight away, Maria was just like, I've got a bunch of ratios up.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Already
here's the thing, Tim.
Concept.
You're not Tim.
He's demonized me as well.
No, because here's the thing, Harry. Maria doesn't have, the Google with all the ratios. Maria's got them in the mind.
I do. I've also got an Excel file.
And an Excel.
From the CIA, the original CIA.
I'm sorry?
The Cullinary Institute of America. I see,
The Culinary Institute is referred to as the CIA. It was actually established before the actual government CIA. So that's the whole thing.
They just stole it.
We're the first CIA.
Love that. That's a great bit of trivia. That's a great little playing favorites. Playing favorites. I'm just getting this the American accent coming through. I'm already picking it up. It's a good little playing favourite sized piece of trivia. That is. Yeah. I like that.
Can you tell people that you work for the CIA?
I do.
Oh, you studied.
I do it all the time. Sometimes they don't ask for clarification. I don't give it. There's a couple people out there who think I'm government, but really, I just make bread.
That's fantastic. That's so funny.
I wish I could do that.
Man, yeah. We just work for like normal jobs. But
I'm gonna become a baker.
Just for apparently,
and also work for America, I guess.
American baker. My God. No, I mean it sounds very good, and like it does sound like me and Luke are on similar kind of levels in that like I
took some time in university to bake.
Really?
Yeah, I baked on my own.
One time present it for judgment.
I don't have anything baked, but one time I did, I think, put in, it was like baking soda or something, and I asked for like a teaspoon, and I put in several tablespoons instead.
Oh my God.
So don't, and then everything tasted really spicy.
To be fair, there was a couple box recipes I did as a kid that I really messed up. I made box brownies once and forgot the eggs, so I thought the batter looked really thick, so I added more oil. And when it came out of the oven, it was some kind of oily slab of chocolate, and it wasn't really good.
Yeah, it sounds.
And
like
then I went, I could do this for a career.
That's great though. That's like fucking. That's
Bakers
Michael Jordan getting turned down from his school's basketball team. That's like, that's the journey, right? Like,
we had a campus fire because someone put in a frozen pizza in the oven and left it in the box. And we are a culinary school.
Okay, yeah. That's wrong.
We were like, maybe they shouldn't be here.
That's expulsion worthy.
Hang on.
You're done.
Do pizzas fall under baking?
Yeah.
They're baked, yeah. They're a baked good. Mm-hmm.
Dough.
A deer.
A
female deer.
I think the actual definition of baked good is any kind of batter or dough you bake it in the oven, right? Which does unfortunately exclude confectioners, but
okay.
It's okay.
I kind of assumed a baked good was anything you baked.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you'd think.
I think the actual definition includes like batter or dough specifically, but
I guess that kind of makes sense. But I can't think of anything. I guess chicken. You can bake a chicken.
You can cook meats.
Yeah.
And pasta. Wait, hold on. Is a pasta baker baked good?
No, the pasta's already cooked when it's dried.
See, there's a thing. There's all these little words and terms that like we were talking about dough a moment ago. I don't know what that is.
A dough is just a thick batter, generally flour. Like
what's a batter?
A dough is based off of a lean, like bread, which is just flour, water, salt, and yeast. If you add anything else, it's an enriched dough, which is like butter, eggs, sugar.
I understand.
I don't.
A batter is generally like creaming method, thinner, pourable.
If I took a chicken fillet,
yes,
and I put it into batter,
yes,
and then I get some breadcrumbs or whatever, as you do, and then I put that in the oven.
That is not a baked good.
It's not a baked good.
If I take a piece of bread,
yes,
and I put it in the toaster,
that is not a baked good. You are not baking? No, you are toasting.
Why not?
It's a different action.
Toasting, yeah.
Toasting isn't that's not a thing.
Toasting.
Why?
It's not the Toasting Institute of America, the TIA.
It's also the Baking Institute of America.
Okay, yes, the Cullinary Institute of America. Fine, but I feel like you can't create this beer. You can't create this like toasting isn't its own thing.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
It is.
You toast marshmallows over a fire. You toast.
Okay, name one other
example.
Toaster. Yeah, name one other example of those two things.
Feels like you're moving the goalposts there, bud.
You can toast a bagel. What about crumpet?
We don't have crumpets over here.
You don't have crumpets?
No.
What about a muffin?
We call them English muffins over here.
Oh, already we're in the translation hell.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Biscuit. What's a biscuit?
So our biscuits...
You can bake a biscuit.
Yeah, biscuits are baked good. Our biscuits are your scones, which is the ratio, if you're wondering, is 3-2-1. And
what?
It's 3 parts flour, 2 parts liquid, 1 part fat.
Any liquid?
Usually milk or water, but yeah, I guess.
Wait, could you use other liquids?
Yeah, I had a scone recipe a couple years ago that was
Ribena.
Instead of milk, it was water and lemon juice. Made some lemon
That
scones.
That seems very. It does sound good. That seems a little bit too normal, though. I'm thinking like Iron Brew or like Pepsi.
You could. You'd have to watch the
thinking,
carbonation. Maybe flatten it first.
Okay, that works. Yeah,
Reduce it to a
I was
syrup.
thinking like
good. Yeah, okay.
petrol or something.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend putting petrol in your oven.
Okay.
Personally.
I'm thinking.
I'm glad we've got
actually,
a professional one.
That makes sense. Yeah, we've got a professional thing on that one.
Yeah, I don't know who you guys would do with anyone else, but gas in
Toward
your
us.
oven.
I'm thinking like gin. Could you put gin in a bread
So
or a scone?
alcohols evaporate much faster. It's actually like a hack in pie dough. You really don't want that much water, so you use half water, half vodka, and the vodka
sweet.
evaporates out of it, which leaves you like a flakier pie dough. You cannot
that
use
is really cool.
alcohol
Okay.
as straight liquid. Like we've got beer breads, but those are only at like 7%. It's not like
Okay.
pure alcohol.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm thinking, what is a liquid?
Methanol.
If I
What
like,
are you doing?
The liquid is the state between solids and gas.
okay, right.
We
So
don't need a baker for that one.
if
No, I
I
don't
make
think so.
if I'm right, Maria, I'm an amateur. So you know, Kit Kats are made with blended up Kit Kat.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
If I take Luke, Luke, in between the wafer in a Kit Kat, in between
It's
the layers
the
of
messed
wafer,
up Kit
there
Kats.
is minced up Kit Kat.
No, I had not heard about that.
Okay. Now you know. Look, playing favorites piece of
Thank
trivia.
you.
Okay. So if I made a shit dough that was way too runny and liquidy and it's not proving properly,
Melt
if that's
it.
the right use of that word. Oh, it's too runny. Like, oh, this is a bad dough. Could I then use that as a liquid in a scone?
So that's what a sourdough starter is.
Oh my!
Is where you've
God.
gone. A sourdough starter is equal parts flour, water, and then you leave it to ferment at room temperature, and it gets yeast from the air. And it takes a couple weeks because you needed to figure out its own ecosystem. You only want the good yeast out of the air. But yeah, essentially, you can make sourdough scones if you wanted.
Now, right, so I've never understood this idea of a
Hang on,
starter.
well-
Right.
Okay, yeah, sorry, before we go on to it seriously, I just have to point out, I am stunned that usually, playing favorites, we talk bullshit and come up with wacky ideas, like using bad dough to make scones. But the fact that you've got the answers, I'm genuinely
I have a degree.
floored.
We've
I
never
am
had this before.
I'm a bakery
Genuinely
manager.
stunned. Yeah, I am now like, oh my god, there's nothing I can throw at Maria that'll that's it. I'm tapping out. Like, I can't even.
Luke,
Oh
what
my
was
God,
your
so yeah,
sourdough
sorry,
starter question?
So, right, so when you have a sourdough starter, and I get the basic concept is it's its own kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
a living, not a living being. But
No, it is.
It's like the symbiote.
Yeast is
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah, but it's not.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like one.
So bread's not
guy.
vegan, right?
It's
okay.
not like a dude in there.
That's
who's
actually
like-
a hot topic.
You ever seen Venom? Like, what?
So what's the question?
my question was, right?
Yeah.
So how do you use that? And does it run out? Because I've heard about people who've I've got my grandma's sourdough
you feed your starter. So what it is you get it established. It takes a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then you feed it up to a point that you can replace the yeast in a recipe with it. Usually,
Right.
I had a croissant recipe I used on my extern in London. We use sourdough starter in that.
Croissant.
And essentially what it is at work we got this big bucket of it. You take what you
Okay.
need out of it, and then you
And then-
feed it more flour and water to bring it back up. As you're starting your sourdough starter, there's a lot of discard you get, because if you have to feed it the equal weight that it already is. So if you start with 100 grams of flour and water, you have to add another 100 grams of each. But if you discard half of it, you're only adding another 50 grams of each.
So this is kind of like a long game that you've got to play alongside.
That's why people say the sourdough develops stronger flavor the longer you have it. I'm not quite sure how true that is, but that's why you see those 100-year starters, is because people have kept this starter alive for this hundreds of years, and now they're convinced it has a special flavor.
People who have a family heirloom.
Yeah, or I'm thinking places that use the same cooking oil.
It's kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah, and so you sort of maintain, and that will be unique to this particular place.
Right,
and same thing with the sourdough starter. It will be.
It's like the San Francisco sourdough or whatever. They say the yeast in the air in San Francisco is special. When I worked in London, we had a lady come in and ask if we had San Francisco sourdough. And we said, this is London.
You're in the wrong country.
We do not have San Francisco sourdough.
Yeah, okay.
But you can dry You can
import it.
You can buy a dried sourdough starter. It's the same kind of thing as like the instant yeast you buy in stores. Same kind of thing.
Okay.
You can reactivate it.
Huh.
It comes back alive.
Mm-hmm.
And it eats you or something. Yeah. Do you have, Maria, your own sourdough starter?
I don't like sourdough, so no.
Damn. Okay.
But I worked with it a lot.
I don't know if I've ever had it, but
it's got a very specific taste. If you had it, you would know. But
God, this dough's so sour. Ugh.
Pretty much.
And then I'd realise.
I don't really like sourdough. I prefer how yeasted bread tastes because it feels like there's more room for other flavors except just sour.
Yeah, okay. No, that works. I mean, again, it's one of those, I don't even know if I feel qualified to ask a question. Do you in your day-to-day life, since you've got like this expansive knowledge of different types of baked goods, do you like, do you buy a pre-sliced loaf of bread at the supermarket, or do you factor in like, I've got a tiger loaf, which is fantastic with sandwiches.
We don't do tiger
I've got
loaves
this
over here.
Okay, ditch that part of the example. It's fine. But do you make use of these in your day-to-day life?
Not so much. It's like that whole thing where each profession in the trades will not do that thing in their house. Carpenters will not work on their own house. Chefs won't cook at home. We're tired of it. I bring home a lot of baked goods for my family because I get half off discount at the store. And I do snack at the store, but it is good. He's very expensive. But I don't know. By the time I get home, I do not want to bake.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And like prepackaged things have a soft spot in my heart.
Yeah, okay. But do you, despite that, do you find yourself like, almost impulsive? Like, I'm sure this happens in any kind of specialization where you find yourself forming opinions and judging and commenting on certain aspects. If you get like a loaf of bread from the shop or like a batch of brownies or some muffins or whatever, and do you find yourself like thinking like, no, you need to get a bit more sugar?
I do that with cupcakes. There's another bakery near us, but they do a lot of prepackaged stuff and cake mixes. Which, no shame, there's a place for cake mixes in the world.
Yeah, great, yeah.
I haven't found a good vanilla cake recipe as good as a cake mix yet.
Amazing.
But they use this prepackaged frosting, which a basic American buttercream is just icing, sugar, and butter, pretty much. But a real cheap American buttercream is icing, sugar, and Crisco, which is vegetable shortening. Right. And I can't stand that stuff. It is what Oreo filling is, if you were wondering.
Oh, sweet. I love it.
It's vegetable shortening and sugar.
Fantastic.
But it's good on Oreos. I do not like it on cupcakes. It's very thick. If I find a place using American buttercream, I judge it a little bit.
Wow,
Italian buttercream is just better.
Off the back of the Oreo thing, his little thing that I did recently at work, I found out that if you take an Oreo, unscrew it so it's in two halves.
Unscrew?
Yeah, you do like twisty thing, and so you got two halves. And then get like some kind of fire, like a little blowtorch or something, and like just melt slightly the inside of the Oreo, the goo, like, and then reseal your Oreo, screw it back on, and eat it. It's really good.
Harry, I've not got all day.
No, but it's just a one-off.
Fried Oreos are also really good.
What?
Fried?
It's, you take an Oreo and you dip it in like pancake batter, American pancake batter usually, and you fry it in oil, and it makes the Oreo really soft, but it tastes really good.
Oh, man, that does sound good.
Highly recommend it. Top tier fair food.
Sometimes people, when like there's like food hacks on TikTok where it's like a fucking Oreo that's been gone through 8 different processes to turn it into a cake or whatever. It's like, I don't have time.
Yeah,
just give me the Oreo.
There's a big difference between like practical food and show food. That it's really obviously made for like the views and would never fly in like a restaurant.
Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking, because I feel like a thing that happens, right?
Yes.
And I'm curious about it. So, Maria, presumably, have you been baking since a young age?
Yeah, 14, 15.
14, 15, okay. Has the thing happened, right, where you're like, oh, this thing's really great and cool, and like I want to pursue it to like in education and as a future career, and then you go in to do it in that kind of environment, and all the enthusiasm and passion just gets utterly ground out of you.
So
really heavy
here
question.
Was the thing that happened with me was I was really bored in traditional high school classes when I was a child. I was on the honor roll, but I was bored, and my home high school had an option for a technical school that hosts kids from all over the county. And you could go there for half a year and learn a trade, pretty much.
Oh, sweet, yeah.
So I did that because I was bored. And my chef in high school was a CIA grad. And the one thing about CIA grads is they really want other people to go to the CIA. So
It's still funny.
was about to graduate, and he was like, "You should go to the CIA." And I was like, "But I don't like cooking." And he was like, "Do baking instead." And I said, "Okay." And here we are.
And it just happened.
I kind of stumbled into this. I'm not a very passionate person. I like what I do.
Yeah,
it's better than like an office job.
Yeah.
And if you ask my therapist, it's because baked goods are an easy way to get approval.
Ah, nice.
You can just give them away.
Exactly. You give someone a cookie, they're in love. That's it. That's what it takes.
People love it. Well, fantastic. That's a great little segue then into... We have this segment on Playing Favourites called United Favourites, where we look at the UK's top 10, top 5 favourite baked goods or whatever episode we're doing. However, it felt a little bit sort of like, we don't really want to do that exact same format this episode. So I'm going to change United Favourites to be United Favourites.
But no you.
But instead, it's United States. Because I have here America's favourite baked goods, broken down specifically into favourite, what have we got? Donuts, favourite cake flavours, favourite cupcake flavours, pies, cookies.
Okay.
We'll do a few of these. I'm curious, what do you think, Maria, maybe based on your experience, are America's top 5 favourite donuts?
God, Boston cream.
No.
Not even anywhere on there?
Not even top 5. I don't even know what these mean. I'm wondering if we're on the same wavelength here. Like,
could we have number 5? Yeah.
Number 5 is cake.
Okay.
Cake donut.
Oh.
Does that mean anything to you?
A traditional donut is a dough. Yeasted dough. A cake donut is instead a batter.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So the textures are wildly different.
So does that then lead you into anything for...
So if they're going like that, Foshnotts may be on there. Beignets might be on there.
No?
Glazed donuts?
Yes, glazed number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking glazed donuts.
I hate it here.
Okay. One of them is the name of a whiskey cocktail.
What?
What?
Old fashioned number 3.
God, like sour cream donuts, yeah. Is sour cream donuts on there?
No. Okay. Number 4 sounds like a Disney villain from a old Disney animated movie.
That could mean anything.
Okay.
What the hell
Played by
are you
Emma Stone.
talking about? Played by Emma Stone.
Who?
A Maleficent.
No. I'm seeing 4. Is it pronounced Cruller?
Oh, a cruller. Yeah, that's why.
There you go.
That's what I was thinking of when I said sour cream donut.
I
People
see.
love that shit. We just had donut day like 2 weeks ago, and everyone's going for like the sour cream and the cruller donuts.
Ah, okay.
I've realised I know nothing about donuts.
Apparently. Number 1, we're looking at apple fritters.
Fair.
Okay.
Understandable.
Let's see. Okay, I'll give you maybe 1 or 2 more, right? Do you want to go for cake or cupcake?
Won't it be the same?
Nope, I've got different
hell?
flavors that people like.
Give me cake.
There is a bit of
probably
crossover.
Like
Cake. Okay, go on. Top 5.
German chocolate.
Yes, number 5.
Yep. Funfetti.
What is that?
We've had this conversation. Funfetti is a vanilla cake with sprinkles laced throughout it, traditionally birthday cake.
Funfetti is that one cake that I remember getting really mad about, because I thought it was the cake where you just bake a cake and then it has a hole in the middle. It's just full of fucking
Those are
sprinkles.
confetti cakes.
Which is...
okay.
Wait.
Or piñata cakes.
The names are too similar for one of them being very bad and one of them being...
Which one's the bad
fine.
one, out of curiosity?
Confetti cake. Why would I want that? Why would I want to slice into my cake and then have a mess?
It's for the visuals.
I'm not 8.
Bundt cake.
Bundt cake's good. But
Bundt.
that's very open. Bundt cakes come in different flavors.
Big circle in the middle.
Yeah, it's a certain type of pan. They're usually denser cakes.
The fuck is that? Oh, I knew this.
Is Angel Food Cake on there? You guys don't have that.
No angel food cake. That sounds strange.
Angel Food Cake is a fat-free cake, actually.
Huh.
It's basically
Sounds
egg
good.
whites
It
and
looks
sugar
very odd.
and
Yeah,
flour.
okay.
It's very airy.
Great.
It's pretty good.
It looks
Yeah,
like
okay.
it's made out
Angel.
of tofu.
It's not. It's made out of egg whites.
It's not made out of
flour.
tofu.
and
I should
sugar.
hope not. That would be...
Cool. Well, you got German chocolate on there. Number 4 is a classic favorite, particularly over here. It's like if the general public was gonna know a particular color to it.
Is it that pink and white checkerboard thing? Battenberg?
Battenberg?
Is that
No,
on
not
there?
Battenberg. No.
I get that's too British, I think.
This one is a particular
Is it
color.
Black Forest Gatto?
No.
Damn.
Is it Black
Number 4,
Forest
we're looking
cake?
at.
Who calls it
No,
gatto?
we're looking at.
I don't know. I don't know why I did that.
Thank you, Luke. We're looking at red velvet for number 4.
Okay.
Number 3, super simple, easiest cake you can make.
Sponge. Victoria sponge.
Sponge
No.
is not the easiest cake you could make.
Come on, Maria, easiest cake you can
sponge
make.
cake.
I don't know, vanilla, probably.
No, the other one.
Chocolate?
Yeah! chocolate cake.
Just chocolate cake. That's
There
it.
you go, number 3. Number 2,
Is chocolate peanut butter on there? That
no.
one might be
Number 2
local.
is the worst cake.
Well, I think Harry's telling his bias is getting in the way.
It's made with a root vegetable.
It's carrot cake.
Carrot cake.
I do not like
It's
carrot
number
cake.
2. Yeah, on
Carrot cake
America's
batter
favorite cake
looks
flavors.
like cat puke.
Damn, that's
Specifically
bad.
meow mix.
Tastes like it too.
Fair enough.
I like the
Thank you for specifying.
spices. Spiced cake is good because it's just
Oh my
carrot
god,
cake
it does look like cat
without.
puke. You're not kidding.
I'm not without the walnuts and carrots.
That looks fucking awful.
I had to mix a
Great.
big batch of it when we were doing a project where I had to make 450 mini loaves of carrot cake, and I wanted to die.
Ugh, yeah, that's
So
awful. And number 1 is a classic cake. It's a funny cake.
What does that mean?
It involves a particular fruit.
Is it
and a
fruit cake?
particular a particular
fruit?
Is it Christmas pudding?
no. It
This is an American list.
yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
right.
And it's
a particular
it's silly.
fruit?
It's funny. It's got something about it, that's just like
What the fuck are you
funny.
talking about?
It's particular orientation.
Oh,
What?
upside down
Oh.
pineapple cake.
Pineapple upside down cake
Yeah.
is apparently America's number
That
1
really?
favorite.
This seems bullshit.
I'd like to
According
see the
to-
census they took of these.
What-
because
what-
they're wrong.
This is according to Webstront store blog,
Webster.
which they have a very nice infographic.
Oh, Websterant. Okay.
Yeah.
I know this store. It's okay. They're wrong.
Where is this information coming from?
Underneath, I don't know. Sources: American bakers, Dunkin' Donuts, state of the industry,
Well, they
dessert,
asked
Google Trends.
Dunkin'
They
Donuts.
asked Mr.
Yeah,
Donuts
they were-
himself.
When-
They went, how many of these donuts do you sell? Red velvet's fun. People like to say red velvet is just chocolate with red food dye. And while that's true nowadays, originally it was a reaction between the cocoa powder and the baking soda used.
Trivia. I
Mhm.
fucking love it. That's great.
Did you know that about red velvet cake, Harry? That it's red food dye.
It tastes nice. So like,
I didn't know it until recently, and it did kind of shock me to my core.
I think it's...
is it though?
It depends on where you get it. Nowadays,
Yeah.
commercially, yeah, it is just mostly red
Oh,
food
okay.
dye. That's why I think it's weird.
Huh.
It comes with cream cheese frosting traditionally.
Mm.
But originally, the red came from a chemical reaction, not just food dye.
So much fucking knowledge. Holy shit. This is okay. Last episode we did weather phenomena,
I remember.
where me and Luke were just clawing at anything, any
You guys
kind of thing
were
that we
talking
knew.
about your volcanoes surviving.
Yeah,
strategies.
there's a lot of shit going on. Don't even worry
With his
about it.
box
Like,
over his head. I remember. I was cleaning
Yeah,
my room
yeah,
and I
yeah,
got
no.
shouted at.
because like, so to have this much knowledge on flavors utterly blows my mind.
Can we do a topic where I'm the expert next week?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about being uninformed. There you go.
Damn.
My favorite thing that is wrong. I was gonna ask about pie because
Yeah.
we like sweet pie, right? Fruit pie,
Mm.
all
Yeah.
American apple pie. Because we do have, sweet pies over here.
Little apple pies, yeah.
Yeah.
Little apple pie occasionally, but in my opinion, right? If I were to ever go to America, I would walk down the street and I would see like apple pies out people's windows. And they have big steam lines coming off of them. And I'd walk past and I'd go like, and it'd all
You
the
make you
air
float
would
up
go
and
up
draw
my
you
nose.
towards it,
And,
yeah.
You tip your Stetson, pull out your
Yeah.
pistols and fire into the air, salute the
Whoa.
American flag and go, boy howdy.
Yeah, is that a thing? Like, obviously not that.
I think it's funny you started with it, in my opinion.
I
And
know
then-
I said in my opinion.
So, pies are pretty big over here.
Yeah.
We don't do savory pies like you guys do. We have like chicken
Yeah,
pot pie, but that's usually just like a stew with a crust laid over it, really.
Yeah.
But we do have savory pies over here. Actually, today is Pie Day in the United States. 3.14.
happy Pie
Oh
Day.
shit, you're right.
Yeah, happy Pie Day. Funny that we should
Wow,
be recording.
God, we really should have done a thing about that.
We should have released the episode today. That would have been very funny.
I kind of thought you were gonna. I looked and I was like, oh, it's been 2 weeks since the last one. But I don't know your schedule.
Damn. Oh well.
Do you use cups over there?
Yeah, we do.
That's weird.
A cup of water
Stop doing
is
that.
about 8 ounces.
Volume and shit. Right?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's okay.
Volume and weight are different things.
They are. That's why
I'm gone.
If you've got to like convert a recipe from cups into weight, it's a bit difficult because you have to find the difference in densities.
Density.
Yeah. Because water's a straight conversion. Flour's not. Sugar's a different conversion to flour.
I seem to remember having to go through this difficulty when I was baking and I didn't have a scale.
Nah.
So I would just kind of, run like 8 different math conversions to be like, how much flour is in a tablespoon?
That's where the ratios come in, actually.
Yeah.
Because the ratios work no matter what measurement you're using.
Yeah.
You could be 3 cups of flour, it could be 3 ounces of flour, it doesn't actually matter.
What I used to do is
consistent.
I used to make a curry sauce at uni, and I would with like paste and onions and things like that. And at some point, you had to add some water, and like a specific amount of water. And so the first time I measured it out, I got the little measuring jug with the tap, and I ran the tap. And I remembered how long I ran the tap for. I was like, I ran that tap for like maybe a second or 2. And so what I'd do is I'd skip the jug next time, and I'd just get the pan and put it under the sink, and then run the tap for about the same time.
The reason that works is because you were cooking, not baking.
Yeah. I wonder if I was baking, maybe that wouldn't work,
I don't measure everything in baking. When I'm feeding the starter, I kind of dump a bunch of flour on it and then pour water in it and mix it with my hand till it feels right. But you have to learn how things feel to do that shit.
When you're... Right, okay, genuine question. No, it's not a genuine question. When you're doing that?
Yeah.
And you're feeding the starter?
Yes.
Do you ever worry that one day you're going to dip your hand in and it's going to, bite?
No.
You feed it human souls.
I do worry that when I'm feeding it, I'm adding too much and it'll explode out of the bucket, which happens sometimes.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
Well, because the rule is it'll increase by half in volume.
Does it talk to you?
No, it does not. I yell at the ovens, the starter doesn't talk to me yet.
If you replace the water with blood, do you think it would
You can use blood in baking. Blood has the same properties when whipped as aquafaba, which is a egg white replacer.
Trivia.
So you can make a mousse out of blood.
I'm
not going to ask you
no.
if you...
No, I have not.
Okay.
But fun fact, blood has the same protein, configurement as aquafaba, yeah.
Which is an egg white, yeah.
Yeah. The aquafaba is the liquid from a can of cooked beans, usually chickpeas.
I'm curious to feel like, okay, what the people have to say, when it comes to favorite, because it's such a broad range,
right?
We really
more than I'm sure you or I, Luke, could comprehend.
There are concepts that we haven't even touched upon yet.
Yeah, like meringues.
Maria's dying to talk about meringues.
I really am. I love meringues.
Your thing's talking about meringues? You like meringues?
I do.
My mum really likes
There are 3 different types. It's French,
meringue.
Italian, or Swiss.
Okay.
What's the difference?
French meringue is straight granulated sugar into whipping egg whites. It's the least stable.
Stable.
Yeah, because meringue's all egg whipped into air. Air whipped into eggs. So
when you're making it, are you stood there no, we need more liquid, get it in here.
It's going super critical.
No, you whip it too long, it goes flat. But
that's sad.
French meringue is also called common meringue because if you're baking with it, that's the type you'll use generally because you're folding it into something.
That's the one.
Swiss meringue is you dump the sugar in and you bring it up to temp over a double boiler, which is just a bowl over some hot water.
Mm-hmm.
And you mix it as you bring it up, and the sugar dissolves, and you whip that. And it has a different texture. If you're making little meringue kisses, which is just dried meringue.
Oh, my mum loves those.
You usually use a Swiss meringue because it gives a better texture. More stable than French, less stable than Italian.
So when you say stable, what does that mean?
It means it will hold the air for longer.
So the meringue is Chekhov's gun. And when your sourdough starter begins to develop sentience and tries to kill you, you destabilize the meringue and throw the starter into it, and it explodes because it goes critical.
What the fuck are you talking about now?
This is the plot.
He's desperate to have something to say in this.
He just really.
I'm looking for buzzwords, man. As soon as I heard it stabilize, it's all right.
It just means it won't collapse as fast if it's more stable.
Could I make a house out of meringue?
I wouldn't. It'll dissolve in water.
What would be the best baked good to use
Salt,
in
though.
construction? Salt, though?
You can make ornaments out of salt, though. It's just flour and water and a lot of salt.
Okay. That makes sense.
And it doesn't puff at all as you bake, so you make it into Christmas ornaments. You used to do it with the kids.
Oh, yeah, I know these little
fucking
fucking
unbelievable.
things.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck it.
Okay, well now I'm even more eager. Now we've got meringues on the table. Luke, I don't suppose anyone's favourite happens to be meringue.
We've got meringues on the table?
There was no...
meringues over there.
Yum!
I know when
Take
I
a
say
piece.
meringue, a lot of British people automatically go to the dried out, like, meringue cookies.
Yeah.
That is meringue. You bake it to dry it out. Usually meringues are used folding in air to things. That's how you make mousse. Or you throw some butter in there and you turn it into a buttercream. And it's lighter.
And you get like lemon meringue pie.
Yeah.
Hang on. I was thinking of the little crunchy fuckers. The
Yeah,
little,
no. That's what you get when you dry meringue out, but the original like egg whites and sugar is used more in baked goods.
I hate meringue. So like...
You hate meringue?
Yeah, I really don't like it.
Stuff?
Yeah, I didn't know there was other meringue.
Soft.
The crunchy meringue is the aftermath. The actual meringue is the egg whites and sugar.
That's when it's max stability.
This is, honestly...
I had to slip that in because I was like, last time I talked to a British person about meringue, they did not know what I was saying.
Yeah, no, good. Okay, yeah, in that case, assuming there's no meringue though, what Luke, what do people have to say about favourite baked goods? I have to know.
We got quite a few responses on this bad boy. Yeah, let's talk about brownies. We haven't spoken about brownies.
Brownies, okay.
We got two brownies. Abby and Matt, thank you for responding.
Wow, thank you.
Brownies. I don't know why I put weird emphasis on that one. Abby made a specific distinction of, like, you know, like the little burnt edges? Not burnt,
They're not
but
burnt.
like, you know, toasted.
Yeah. Okay.
Like edges of a brownie. Do you
Can't
think
go
you
wrong
could make
with
a brownie that's all edge?
They sold a pan for that here.
What?
What's that? What? How
It
does
was
that
the
work?
all-edge brownie pan. It had walls, so it like sized off the brownies. Here, hold on.
I'm looking.
Okay.
Oh my god. It's awful.
Also, after this came out, people were like, you could just bake that in a mini muffin tin, and it would do the same thing. And everyone was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing this. It's like a little zigzag. Looks like
it's like a maze.
the brownie comes out looking like a big M.
There was also the brownie cutting pan, which was it had this insert. It was called the Gotham Steel nonstick baking pan with built-in slicer. So you'd put in this insert and you would pour your things throughout it, and then it would give you the edges too, or you could put it in after and cut it all like automatically.
It's so strange. I don't like.
It was one of those like for TV things that are marketed for people with disabilities, but you can't actually market it towards them because then no one else will buy it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So
I see. Wow.
I'm just imagining being the person who loves brownie edges so much that you
go out of their way to like, I honestly, all brownie is
Why don't
good.
you just make smaller brownies?
That's what everyone's like. You just put them in like a muffin tin; it would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Just eat brownie. Just why
brownies are good. I'm not a fan of homemade brownies. I think box brownies are perfect and will never improve.
Wow. Okay.
Personally.
That makes sense, right? Because it's just what the fuck even goes in a brownie? Chocolate mix?
Egg?
Egg?
There is egg. Don't forget the egg, otherwise things go wrong.
Maybe an egg. I think you should put a lot of oil in there too.
Yeah.
A brownie is basically like a cake mix, but it's denser, right?
Yeah, they all...
And you can like add melted chocolate in it to bring in more moisture. It depends what kind of brownie you're going for. There's like cakey or fudgy or like somewhere in between.
I'm thinking about like the density of brownies. Can you like? Cause that's something you can control, right? Like you can.
Yeah, it depends how much leavener you add in. Leavener.
There it is. I know
leavener is like, I think it's like chemical or mechanical leavener. Mechanical would be meringue, where something you whip air into and fold it in.
I see.
Chemical is baking soda or baking powder. Yeah, leavening is adding air to something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's something that really had us foxed on like episode 6 when we were talking about biscuits. I remember really struggling with that one as a concept. It was episode 5. I made the same mistake that I did a couple of episodes ago where I swapped hairstyles and biscuits. We'll get emails.
You dumbass.
Could you make like hyper dense brownie? Because I think in all baking, I want dense. You know,
So,
I don't want it to be like full of air.
You might just want fudge.
Okay, yeah.
Which is a
do you even
confection.
want like the the like brownie element.
There's obviously there's a cap, but like, you know, like I'm thinking like the times where I've like bitten into a brownie and it's like chunky, you know, it's like it's industrial.
Does it
you know,
have chocolate chips in it?
Yeah, you know, and they're big and they're like little boulders in there. And
What's interesting is I think I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah,
I want it to be as airy as possible.
So Harry
Have you tried
wants
not
fudge,
eating a brownie?
And I want a
Luke
cake.
wants cake. Yeah. Neither of you actually.
All the brownies go
It
to
took me a
waste.
couple of years to figure out I didn't actually like brownies that much. I would keep getting them
Yeah.
on campus, like at the lunch place, and I'd eat it. I'd be like, maybe I just don't want this very much.
I see. Yeah,
I think it's just like it's one of those foods that theoretically I should like a lot.
Yeah,
But it's just like this is too dense.
I just really like boxed brownies.
It's just too dense for me.
Yeah.
I don't like eating bricks.
I don't
Hot
like
take.
eating bricks. Yeah, me too, man.
I'll
Me
take
too.
No bricks.
Ellis said Greg's sausage roll. I'm taking over.
Yeah,
I was
go
gonna say,
ahead.
yeah, wow.
No, take
Okay.
control. I don't know. Have you had a Greg sausage roll?
I know what they are,
You know what they...
I
that
haven't
does not
had
answer
one.
my question. Okay.
That
That
but
does
I know
answer
it's
my
puff
question.
pastry with a sausage around it.
Have you
Just
had...
around it.
Do you just not have sausage rolls
No,
at
we
all?
don't. We have
really?
corn dogs, which I think is the closest we have.
Oh my
Corn
god.
dog, it's not puff pastry though, right?
No,
Corn
corn
dogs,
dogs
like-
is like a cornbread
It's corn.
batter and then fried.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
sausage rolls, I know they have puff pastry, which we haven't talked about laminated doughs yet, which is always
Yeah.
fun.
Wow. Yeah. Sausage. The fact you don't have sausage rolls is incredible. Have you ever had one like ever?
No,
Wow. Okay, they're worth trying out. Like, I mean, you know,
yeah, I keep hearing.
yeah, they are
Wait,
very
hold
good.
on. Is puff pastry... What do you use puff pastry for?
We use it usually for like apple turnovers.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
that
use
makes
puff
sense.
pastry for a Napoleon, which is a French dessert,
Really?
That
Never
makes
would have
sense, yeah.
guessed.
which is layers of puff pastry that you've baked with a sheet pan on top so it doesn't puff up a lot.
Oh, yeah. I
And
know
then
these
you
things.
layer
They're
it
nice,
with
yeah.
pastry cream and
That's so good, yeah.
fondant on top. Pouring
I love
fondant.
that shit.
I'm just thinking about like meat involved in like, you know, with the sausage roll thing. Like,
Mhm.
other than because you don't have savoury pies, do you? Really either?
No.
So like, where is meat involved in like?
So we'll
baking?
do like little hand. You can make a turnover savory. We've done it.
What?
A turnover is like puff pastry
You know what
in the shape
turnover
of a
is.
triangle. Usually it's apple turnover,
Yeah.
cherry turnover. You can do
Okay.
savory ones.
We have... Do you not know what a turnover is, Harry?
No.
Oh,
Harry, I could get you one. But
Can you?
we,
Right
we
now?
sell them. We sell them where I work.
It's what, half an hour on the bus? Like,
Well, it's closed right now.
Fran said donut, which
Donut is good.
yeah,
um,
okay.
I'm not.
But what
quite
does
sure
what does she mean?
if she
Well, donuts, yeah.
donuts
Do
are
you mean
fried.
the UK ones or the
Donut, yeah.
or the US ones? Like, yeah.
Donuts are
Is donut
fun.
even a baked good?
I'd say so because it's a dough with yeast, technically.
Okay.
So even
Yeah.
though it's not baked, you could. It probably
There
still
are
tastes
baked
like-
donuts, right?
There are baked
They're like a
donuts. They make
different-
usually cake ones are baked.
Do you like ever interact with the like the UK ones where there's just a ball of dough, like it's fried?
What are you talking about?
Hmm?
Yeah, like the ones you get at the beach.
No.
What?
What are you talking about?
Hang on.
I think. Hold
so
on.
you know
I
there's
think
like
I've
the
had this
American
conversation.
style donuts.
Are you
The
talking
American...
about? Are you talking about donut holes?
No, you know you get the American style donuts with the hole through the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
like
there's
all
like the
donuts.
ones. Oh my god!
Wait, no.
Oh,
I think Harry, are yours
Are you,
filled?
are you talking about like a jam donut?
no, yeah, or like a custard donut, like the ones you get at the beach, where
Yeah.
like
What?
yeah, they're
Never
covered in
had them.
sugar and cinnamon, and like they're deep
And they're
fried.
filled, yeah.
Like, not always filled, but like
never had
Well,
a filled
yeah,
one.
usually over here, if it's filled, it does have a hole, but if it's not filled, it will have a hole. I know you guys have ones that aren't punched out. The thing with donuts and frying things is the hole is there to get an even cook all throughout.
Yeah.
Like bagels.
literally,
Yeah.
for the first time in playing favorites history, I'm right. Like
What are you talking
these
about?
do exist. Luke, like literally
do
at the beach,
exist.
this is like a staple
Right,
food.
no, hold on. Donuts, no hole, at
Yeah.
the beach, fried.
It's literally it's batter. They
And
just
there's no
chuck it
filling.
into they just chuck it into the oil. It starts frying. Gets that lovely coat on
You
it.
don't chuck it in the oil.
They've got like a bunch of sugar
Yeah,
and
yeah,
cinnamon,
the
and they
thing
roll
is,
it around in
I've-
those. Put
I've
six
had
in a bag. and
exactly
serve it.
what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
without.
It is
like,
just a normal donut.
They've
Yeah.
just had the hole, like they've just
Okay.
been donut shaped rather than whatever. like weird donut ball you're talking about.
This is not weird. You're the weird one.
No, Harry,
thought-
you just described it bad. I know what you're talking about. It's just a normal donut with the hole not punched out, but you went straight to ball of dough, which is
Why would
anything
you not?
good.
It's just a blob. It's just a blob that
Why
goes
would you
into
not
the
have the whole point?
Because that's extra work. You don't need it.
Not really.
You do,
Depending on the
'cause-
donut stamper you have, some have the hole built in.
The whole
literally-
point is that I want the crisp. My least favorite part of a donut is the
No, because
inside.
they're small. They're so small that it's crispy and crunchy on the outside, and there's just a little bit
Yeah,
of
they
fluffiness
have to
in
be
the
a
middle.
little smaller for that because of how
Yeah.
oil cooks. If you have something too thick, it will just be raw in the middle. But
Okay, so they're small. Sorry, I was imagining them to be donut sized.
It's okay, Luke. I'll take you to the beach. We'll go on a little playing favourites
You are
field
just
trip.
describing donut holes, though. Like
What does that mean?
that's what a donut hole is.
a donut hole is
donut hole?
the whole
It's a
portion
marketing gimmick.
punched out and fried on its own. So there's just a little donut.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, that's funny.
And
Well-
yeah, the concept is that they're the punched out hole, but they never are.
No, not actually.
It's always
When
just
I
like,
make them,
you
it
know,
is,
Yeah.
but that's because I don't have Dunkin' Donuts.
Because you've got
fucking funds.
authenticity. Yeah.
That's fair.
We also had an everything bagel with cream cheese and a chicken bake, but I'm not quite sure what that is. A bagel is fun to make.
How is it different to a donut?
A bagel is baked,
Have you ever had a bagel?
I've had it like once, I think. And a donut is,
fried.
Dode.
and the horse's name is Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
Um.
because I had it once with Marmite on, but I think I've had
yeah.
a cream cheese bagel.
So
Have I told the Marmite story? I think I have.
Yeah, to me you have.
I remember there's a joke in The Simpsons where there's a stack of donuts like on display in the Quickie Mart, and they've just gone out of date, and Apu swaps out the sign for donuts for bagels,
That's pretty funny.
It's quite funny.
inaccurate but funny.
but not how they're made. Okay.
No, donuts are a different dough.
Okay.
They're like a traditional like New York thing, right?
Yeah,
Bagels.
people like to say
I
like the
love
tap water in New York makes them perfect. I think it's bullshit. Bagels
What?
are bagels. Yeah, people are like that.
If I wanted to make an authentic New York bagel, I would import the tap water.
You got to import tap water. You got to import yeast from San Francisco.
Wasn't there an influencer who started selling their water? You know, that you could use. I don't know if it was a baking.
For
thing.
baking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that's
it.
what I know. Out of curiosity, could I use Belle Delphine's bathwater to make a scone?
Yeah. I use cream in my scones, but I guess you could. It might even come with a little yeast in it already, actually. Ba-dooch.
We're done. We're moving on. We're done. We're done with the people's favourites. I guess it's time, gang. I guess this is the moment where we're gonna do our favourites, right?
Oh shit!
They're on. Are we all prepared? Are we all ready? We all got our
I am
favourites.
Yeah,
now.
sure.
I didn't, and then halfway through the episode, I was like, obviously it has to be that.
Yeah, mine too was a sort of how could it be anything else?
Yeah.
I had
So-
trouble.
Ooh, okay, that makes
Do
sense.
we
actually,
usually? I can't remember if we usually
guess last.
guess as last, right? Okay.
Yeah, so we'll start
Right.
with the sort of least prestigious member of playing favourites.
You.
So I'll go first. Damn it, you can't beat me to the self-deprecation.
You
joke.
can just
Right.
you can cut that
You
part
can
out.
just cut me out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just. No, it's fine. Oh man, okay, I feel like a lot of pressure now.
You gave yourself this pressure.
I know, but okay. Well, my favourite is very standard and normal,
Oh.
and it's my favourite baked good is a brownie.
Oh.
I really like brownies. I just
Okay.
like they're just
Yeah.
so perfect.
Uh-huh.
It's a bunch of chocolate.
You couldn't have just lied for like just a bit of entertainment.
I still think you just want fudge, man.
No, because like there's just because I don't like fudge. I had some fudge today and it wasn't good.
It's too
What
dense
kind of
for him.
fudge?
You know, a box of roses.
That
chocolate.
doesn't count.
The chocolate. It said fudge on it.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean? It said fudge on it.
They're
Yeah,
lying
but
to
you want like real Cornish fudge.
No, it's
You want
I hate
like
fudge.
tabled
Fudge
on
bad.
a table fudge.
No.
Ta-
It's the
tabled on
texture,
a table.
Marble
The
table.
crumbliness of brownie. You know, like
Brownies don't crumble.
the density, the chocolate in it. There's
Famously not very crumbly.
I'm not sure Harry knows what a brownie is.
bit of crumbliness going on in there. It can fall apart. You know.
Lots of things
It's
can
the-
fall apart. That doesn't make them a brownie
Or
There's
crumbly.
a joke there.
or crumbly.
You know, there's bits of chocolate in there. That's nice.
Do you just like
um,
chocolate?
Yeah, Luke, how many all right, the episode is sweet food, favorite kind of sweet food. The answer is always, for my favorite, lots of chocolate and sugar and things like that. Chocolate orange brownies, salted caramel brownies.
You've got to bring me back for a confections episode, because I took a really good confections class, and I could talk about that for another hour.
Well, there you go, amazing. Keep on the list. Yeah.
Fuck it, we'll just start it now.
Amazing. What do people
next one.
Get 2 in 1.
We've already sort of covered brownies, but it seems like you guys don't really like them.
I'm not a huge brownie fan.
I like brownies. It's just like I like having them occasionally,
They're definitely really rich. It's a one and done kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, see, we usually buy like a box of brownies at home, like little mini brownie bites at home, and I'll just eat them.
Tesco.
I'll just eat them all in one go. Like
I had some brookie bites from Tesco the one time last time I was over.
Oh yeah.
What are they?
It's a chocolate chip cookie and a brownie combined.
Brookie?
Yeah.
A cookie brownie.
It's a cookie brownie.
They're pretty
Was
good.
it more cookie or is it more brownie?
They're equal.
Just look
you just
at them.
swirl the batters together.
Just look at them. Fuck me, I'm pulling up a picture now.
I'm just saying, like, sometimes you gotta use your own eyes to make.
Okay, yeah. Well, you're gonna use my eyes on this audio-centric medium that we're using.
I'm just.
Yeah, get fucked.
Listeners at home, make sure you look up what a brookie is. They're pretty good.
Literally, it's a brownie on the bottom and a cookie on top.
It's 50-50-ish.
You could have just fucking said that, my guy. You could have just told me.
I'm just saying. I was mad at you. I'm sorry, audience, that you had to deal with that.
There we go. I've looked at them. They seem quite good. I might buy some. Is it? It's Monday. I might buy some after the episode.
You can get some in a co-op meal deal.
Sick. I'll keep that in mind. Well, Luke, you're the natural progression here. You're the second
next evolution,
least valuable opinion. What are we thinking?
Okay.
What are we looking at?
My opinion is more, let's say, dignified than Harry's.
Oh, fuck off. Snob.
It's a more,
Snobbery.
I'm not a snob. I just like, my favourite is a Bakewell tart.
Okay, right. You're right. I hate that you're right in that it just feels a little bit more like aristocratic, doesn't it?
It's like a real, it's just a good treat. I could go to Bakewell and get one.
Sure.
Do you mean like a cherry Bakewell, or do you mean the full Bakewell tart?
Either, really, but
you've got to pick one.
Is this the one with the cherry or the one with the almond?
So
this is the
right. So here's the thing. Cherry Bakewell is nice. Yep. I do like cherry Bakewells quite a lot, but I would probably
take the cherry off, I'm suing.
I would probably say Bakewell tart because I don't like the cherry very much.
God.
So like the almond.
So you're like with the almonds.
Okay. Maria, quick, what are the cherries called?
Maraschino?
They have a name. Yeah, that one. Thank you. Yeah, I don't really like maraschino cherries.
Valid. They're kind of weird. There's also, looks like pouring fondant on there. Interesting.
Yeah, Maria, do you have much exposure to these? Are they
no, we don't really do these. You can tell if it's British if it calls for a shortcut crust pastry. So we usually call that like pâte sucrée or just cookie dough.
Okay. I've never had, I don't think I've ever had like a regular just Bakewell tart, like, without the cherry. The cherry
I like almonds.
Almonds is pretty good.
Yeah. I think almonds belong in milk and that's it. Like, I don't...
You use almond extract? Yeah. That's based off bitter almonds.
Fucking... It's too much knowledge.
He's been fucking blown to pieces.
Like,
knowledge.
That's the difference between store-bought marzipan and homemade marzipan. Because store-bought marzipan uses bitter almonds, which is the one that tastes like cyanide. While almonds, the sweet almonds we use at home taste much different.
And that means you're being poisoned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll keep that in mind.
I think I broke Harry.
sometimes, like, yeah, I want to.
You hit him with like 8 different facts in quick succession, and I think it just knocked him unconscious.
I was like
full combo.
I like brownies. Okay, right. Well, thank you. Yeah, Luke. Good stuff. I've not had it. Maybe do you sell them where you work?
You've not had a Bakewell tart?
I've had cherry Bakewells. I've not had a Bakewell tart.
Oh my god, we gotta get to Bakewell road trip.
Where is Bakewell?
It also
it's like not that far from us. I've been to Bakewell.
Any good?
It's in Derbyshire.
Oh, amazing. Let's get on the.
We can go get a. Oh, dude, I'd actually really like to do that.
Well, just go to Bakewell and Get a baked
Buy
with
a
tart.
tart.
Can I
Yeah.
come?
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard it's the
let's
tap
go.
water that has that effect on the finished product. But
So true.
nice. Okay, well, Maria, the crown jewel of this episode is your favourite.
It's gonna
And
be
we have to know.
disappointing.
You know, I assume it's perhaps from some sort of local region of France, or maybe what?
Victoria sponge cake
you know.
mix.
I almost went with.
Tell us an honorary.
So I almost went with a lemon blueberry basil entremet. The problem with that is
So how do I spell that last word? Sorry?
entremet.
Yeah.
It's like entremet. An entremet is a mousse cake with layers of like cake and cookie and crunch, and then there's like this one had a basil cremeux in it.
Oh, it looks like cheese. Like when it's sealed, I mean.
Yeah, an entremet is a multi-layer mousse-based cake.
Okay.
And the one I made in this class was a lemon mousse with a blueberry jam, a basil cremeux, and a pâte sucrée cookie with white chocolate on it. And it was very good. But
See,
I don't know if that counts as a baked good, because components of it are baked. I think there's
but
a
you don't bake
flourless cake in there. Yeah, but overall it's a mousse cake. So instead I went with an apple crumble.
it. Now this we can get to.
The problem with apple crumbles in the UK is you guys use a certain brand of apple for all your baking.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like cooking apples or something.
I don't like the one you guys use.
When you say brand,
I think it's-
do you mean like
Yeah, I think it's called the Bromley apple.
a Bramley.
I don't
okay.
like them. We use Granny Smiths over here. That's the default baking
Right, yeah,
apple. I think
Okay.
those just go better. But apple
Fair
crumbles
enough.
are very good. Since I couldn't go
Man.
with my entremet.
That's fair.
I wasn't talking much. I just sort
Harry
of
got
sunk
sucked away at one point.
into my chair.
As soon as you hit the word entremet, Harry just
He
gone.
disappeared.
It's
He
when
was
there was,
snapped
like-
from existence.
It's when there was like 3 adjectives, like 3
Lemon,
descriptors
basil,
of what this thing
blueberry,
is. Yeah, I was like, what?
They're just things, Harry.
They're just flavors.
Mine was brownie.
Yeah.
You know, okay, apple crumble is mostly wank. I hate it.
What?
I
Fuck.
sort of. It's,
Wow,
you know,
now he's just dunking on you.
no, it's
He's
good.
just
I'm
upset I
glad that
said
you like it.
entremet.
Do you
No,
like it?
it's
Do you
fine.
like to have an apple crumble with a bit of ice cream on top?
I do. I had a friend who had an apple dumpling,
Ooh.
and we were in school, and he took a carton of milk and he poured it over the dumpling, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
That's
And he said he
okay.
just pours milk over all his apple desserts because his family did it. And I've been
That's kinda
thinking
weird.
about it since. Jaden, if you're out there, I have questions.
that's
Okay, well,
odd.
we'll keep an eye on the email for that one. I'm slightly stunned as like. I mean, granted, the thing is here is that like if it's a different thing in America, like I'm wondering how substantial is the taste difference between Bramley apples and
So
Granny Smith?
Bramley apples aren't. They're more mealy. The texture's a bit off, as I think my biggest issue with it.
Okay.
And Granny Smiths are tart and sweet. Bramley are just kind of tart.
Okay.
But I do think
see,
it's mostly
makes
the
sense.
texture.
Yeah, apple crumble are okay. I would eat one if presented it, but
Wow, that's very particular of you. Yeah, it's an apple crumble. Why wouldn't you eat it?
because you know there are desserts that I wouldn't eat. I don't know if I would
Go on.
like to eat this on.
It's pretty good.
Instrument.
I wasn't
Maria,
sure
if you presented me with a I can't remember what it was called, lemon blueberry blazel blah blah blah, the entremet.
Yeah.
I would definitely give it a really good go at the very least.
I think you'd be
Try it,
pleasantly
of course.
surprised.
Yeah.
I was a
I
little
hope
put
so.
off them too, but
Yeah.
in practice, they're pretty good.
What is it? So
Amazing.
can you break down these layers? for
So
me?
the bottom layer is the pâte sucrée disc, which is
I,
basically
know,
a cookie.
I would like that. Yeah.
I think there
Some
was
kind
a
of jam.
Yeah, I can't remember what kind it was. But then there's like a sponge cake layer, and then a
Oh,
blueberry
that's
jam
okay.
layer, and the
Mm.
basil cremeux,
Okay.
and then the lemon mousse.
This is the mousse. Yeah.
I like that Maria's actual favourite wasn't interesting enough, and so we've started talking about.
No, we can
Understandable.
go back. I love apple crumble.
Apple
I
crumble.
can talk about
There's
it.
very little to say about apple crumble.
If you show me a cross section of an apple crumble, I'm not going to ask.
You
like,
know
oh,
what's
could you
going
break
on.
that one down?
What's
for
that?
me?
And I do have a question. What's the goo? I don't understand what the goo is.
Which goo?
It's witch goo.
Which goo? Yeah, you know, there's the like you've got the crumble bit, and then you've got the apple bit. But it's not
So
just,
when you cook
it's not just
apples,
apple,
they
it's
release
goo.
juices, and generally in apple
Okay.
desserts, you toss them with sugar and cornstarch, and other ingredients to add flavor.
Thickens
And
it.
when the juice comes out and enters the sugar and the cornstarch, it makes a thick kind of sauce.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And so I'm calling it a goo. What would you call it?
It's just an apple filling.
Apple filling. Great. Well, if we're all done talking about
Entremet?
You can do it.
entremet,
It's
if we're all
really
done
not
talking about
that
entremet,
hard, so.
I guess we'll call it an episode, gang. We all happy with that?
I'm happy
All
with
good?
that.
Yeah. Good
Mhm.
stuff. Well, thank you, Maria. Thank you very much for coming on Playing Favourites and actually just having such a
being
respectable
informed.
amount of knowledge and information and
Finally,
talking about it so openly.
professional.
Absolutely. No. Yeah, it's been amazing having you. Thank you so much for bringing an actual substance
amazing.
to Playing Favourites instead of two guys looking at Wikipedia. Fantastic.
I never had to just sit half the episode just Googling.
It's we got
Usually
Google
have
on
a
the
learning
call.
experience for everyone.
It's fantastic. So thank you very much, and thank you to everyone for listening as well. Episode 38 of Playing Favourites. If you want to get in contact with us, we're on Twitter at PlayFavourites. Favourite spot with a U, FAVOURITS. You can also email in playingfavouritespodcast@gmail.com, again with the U in the exact same place as it was in the Twitter, because why wouldn't it be? That's how you spell the word favourites in the UK. It's consistency. And you can email in whatever you like, with opinions on baked goods, with episode suggestions, with anything you like, anything somewhat tangentially related to Playing Favourites, or even not. Just email in, you cowards.
Let them know if you want me back for confections.
Yeah, Maria, we'll call
We'll be
you.
in
You know,
touch.
We'll be fantastic. I think that is everything. Luke, I'll see you on Thursday to see the Batman. Look forward to it. Maria,
Oh, I can't wait.
any final thoughts?
This isn't baked, but I'd like to point out that Butterfinger candies are a laminated sugar technique with peanut butter in the layers. And that's why they flake like that.
There's too much knowledge. Even in the little after bit. The episode's done.
That's it. Just, by the way, Butterfingers are laminated sugar and peanut butter.